Yep, we're live.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Oh, I forgot to post it elsewhere, so let me do it.
Oh, okay, so this is DevKami number 72. So I'm assuming.
I'm Chile.
And I'm Tristan.
Cool. So the bad news is Malaysia is officially in restricted movement order.
Uh,
Uh, it's not as bad as it sounds. It really means a few things. One, you should really stay at home. Two, there's nothing for you to do outside of your house anyway. And three, you should not go to your workplace. Uh, Slight difference. You still work, but you work remotely, but you should not go to an office. You should limit your exposure to people,
yeah,
and you should not go back to your hometown.
yeah.
Please don't go back to your hometown.
Isn't that something we do often? Like we do not contact
But
people.
is there an event that will make you go to your hometown? Like what is it like any
For some
custom
reason,
time?
people treat it as a holiday. It's not a
Yeah.
Mm,
holiday. I think also we go off topic that we usually think, but the PSA here
There's
is
nothing
stay at
much
home.
to talk about. Yeah.
Yeah, so stay at
Uh,
home, wash your hand.
the one thing
Yeah.
is that the schools are closing their hostel,
Mm-hmm.
so the at least the students ran out of place to stay, so they have to go back,
Yeah.
which
So
is really bad.
despite the whole back policy, back planning and all that, we don't cover that. But for our part, stay at home, reduce your movement. Uh, it's not a full quarantine. It's not full lockdown. You
Yes.
can still go out buy
well,
food.
not yet, not
Not
yet.
yet. We have 100
Yeah.
cases every day, at least.
Yes.
And
And people keep try to run
uh,
away.
and we used to like look at like the before it started here, like Japan was really bad. We exceeded the number the Japanese has.
Yes.
So they used to be they start at around 700, and we just exceeded them at 900 today.
Yes. So for goodness sake, please stay at home unless you've got to get food. So at least in Malaysia, one good thing is you got delivery at home. So anything to add for our PSA?
Yeah.
If there's nothing, we should go on. So let's start with our events. There's nothing happening, restriction movement order, but do you have any online event? That's the most
No,
important
not that I
part.
know of. Not
Yeah,
that I
I
know
don't.
of.
I heard of some of the major one are trying to move it online, but I did not get the detail. Let's see how it goes. If you guys are bored within 2 weeks, just start one. You just start one.
Yeah.
In fact, according to devkami.com, literally
Slash meetups.
everything is cancelled.
Hmm.
We have some reserved one, but I think those are cancelled as well.
Yeah, most likely they will be cancelled. Well,
Yeah.
we'll
But,
see. We'll see if
but
we can do something online.
No
Yeah.
Golang meetups.
yes,
If you guys want to
but
do it, I can do something along the line of.
there is a online meetup Firebase Study Jam happening online, but that is all the way in March 28th.
Yeah.
So that is 2 weeks from now.
Even PyCon
So-
is rethinking whether to reschedule or to cancel it.
Yeah.
PyCon, not
PyCon.
online. They're not doing an
Uh,
online
okay.
conference.
I think Time conference is a bit harder to do.
Mhm.
One of
doable, but
so this one is not a tech event, but what so there was a dance community that was going to have their conference, and the problem is all of the instructors have already flown in, and then there was the lockdown. So it seems that they're pushing through, but then doing all of the workshops online. So that's an interesting way of doing a dance conference.
mhm.
So instead of doing it like, I mean, it's a dance, so you have to be there. Instead of doing it there, then they have to do it like through through an application or through Facebook Live or something. So
Yeah.
things like the whole movement restriction, so moving through meet space, that restriction is an interesting way to for other ways to communicate and other ways to go on with work and with leisure, um, to find out innovative ways of doing that. So how to continue on with your work or continue on with your business even though you don't have physical interaction.
So since then, we went stay at home, enjoy ourselves, and watch DevKami. I have no idea what happened next week. Let's see how it goes. If you guys
We
are
can
going to
do
do
it.
something, we
You
figure it
know,
out.
we figure it out. We always figure it
So
out.
yes. So now that we have no event, what's happening? This what's important happening on the digital space?
Nothing much.
Nothing happened.
Well,
We are
I think the
dying.
biggest one is NPM was bought by GitHub,
Yeah,
Oh yeah, that's a big one.
the
Who
big one.
remembers the time when Microsoft owns developer tools?
they owns a
Well,
lot.
So
there's always Visual Studio and
yeah,
Azure.
so
So,
it used to be. I know this is. I don't want to be pessimist. In fact, Microsoft changed a lot since then. It's not the first time Microsoft own a big part of the developer ecosystem. In fact, they create an ecosystem. That's how Visual Basic started. That's how the .NET started. They create their own language, C Sharp. The creator of C Sharp also created TypeScript, which is a good thing because when TypeScript created, uh, they really give it up to the community. So it's a new tool for the JavaScript community.
well, then
So
in fairness though, before
yeah,
um, Microsoft had a monopoly on in the operating
yes,
system, like before Mac and before Linux
correct,
came about. That's what they had to
correct,
create an operating system. Oh, sorry, they had to create the language because otherwise
yeah.
people can't or support the languages and frameworks because otherwise people can't make applications for the operating system. And
Uh,
I think now they are do supporting all of these because they need to compete because all of these like open source software on different platforms are eating into their mind share, into their market share.
correct. So to
I
survive,
I think they
what?
also realize the 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 pl- it's not about like the traditional way of selling operating system, but the platform.
Yeah,
Mm.
So
yes,
if everybody is on your platform, you are pretty much very powerful and
yeah.
very influential.
Yeah.
So it's about doing it piecemeal, that owning the whole thing by itself. They used to able to do that, not anymore, uh, because they go too late to the cloud and all that. Well, arguably they're not wrong at that time, so there's that. But things change. Now, to survive, they have to own a few part of the ecosystem. So one
Yeah,
piece at a
and
time, and it's not a bad thing.
what's different now as well is that even if they own GitHub, let's say, right, it's still not a
Yes.
monopoly because
No.
it's like anyone if let's say Microsoft turns evil and does something strange to GitHub, people will just migrate out of it. Like
Yes.
it's
There is
not the same
alternative.
as yeah, but like it's not like when it was like Microsoft Windows was the biggest operating system around. If
Yeah.
they can change, like they put telemetry or they put all of these tracking things on your operating system, and nobody can do anything about it because that's the only
Yes.
operating system you have.
Correct.
So it's they really have to compete now.
Yeah, but on the other hand, I think that's also a good thing because I know I'm a bit biased, but Microsoft had a lot of senior developers. And when I say senior developers, you're talking about principal engineers in their
Yeah.
40s, 50s. Those alone are experiences. Some of the principals engineers from the one are the one that actually wrote books like Clean Code and all that. They are very experienced developer. I'm hoping that maybe instead of just business, maybe they will bring good practice to the community as well. But one can hope.
I
So
do have a question. What's the competitor of NPM? Like, why did they
uh,
have to buy it, and who are they competing
Yarn
against?
Yarn is the
it's the
alternative.
No, well,
so
the repository is mostly like the NPM. Yarn
Yeah.
is just like a client, right?
Yarn actually has their mirror, but the main repository is still npm.
So
Yeah,
did they want to buy
and
the repository, not the CLI?
no, it's more like
I think it's
uh,
the whole organization.
NPM do have a business plan to
Yeah.
have private
The
repositories.
the
Mm.
the criticism of npm previously, it was unlike some other language body. Npm is a for-profit entity,
Correct,
so that gets itself a lot of criticism,
correct.
because if the bottom line is in the way, you don't have like the correct interest to for the good of like the community at least.
The
Mm.
incentive and the mission of a corporation is very different than a non-profit, and it may not reflect directly well with something that is used by a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so traditionally, I'm going to go traditionally again. A lot of the popular languages are privately owned. Pascal is one. What happened to them now? But then again, there's other thing as well. Eiffel, you remember Eiffel?
Language.
Uh, yeah,
Yep,
precisely,
Eiffel.
right? Uh, those are privately owned languages. So what Pascal ends up absorbed into Microsoft and all that like last chat, etc. So the point being, we have a history of corporations owning language.
Yeah,
Uh,
I remember DE
not
started with having a proprietary and own like compiler, and that's why it
correct.
cannot move ahead. So I think same goes with Smalltalk. It was
Yes,
engrossed in this like ownership kind of
correct.
issues,
Correct.
and very expensive restrictive licensing issue.
Correct. Because part at that time, despite all the advancement, their goal is to support the shareholder and all
I
that.
also found recently that Ada's compiler is actually proprietary.
They are
Which one?
the
Sorry?
specific
Ada.
ADA,
Ada. Mm. Yeah.
but it's adopted by industry. I think the aerospace industry and the user do have all the access and all that. Uh, but so I do not know whether the what's the open source status of ADA, but there is a standard body in a way that different company can have their own interpretation or
Yeah.
not.
Just like just like C or C plus plus. There's a standard body, but the compiler is can be proprietary. But
Mm.
Uh,
the
the language is not. You are free to implement based on the standard. So there's no closed part of the standard, meaning you can read the whole standard and implement the whole standard.
so what else? What sort of news do we have besides that?
iPad Pro new release, not my thing, but it happened.
MacBook Air with quad core is out, quite cheap. It's about like 4,000 ringgit for a
Okay,
quad core Intel low power Mac. So this
okay,
seems to be like their entry level Mac
Is
now.
that I've no experience with Mac Air before, MacBook Air
Mm-hmm.
before. Is it
Mm-hmm.
suitable for normal development job? Like if
Yep.
I want
Well,
to do
for
Ruby
probably
or
yeah,
JavaScript?
yeah, it's good enough. It's good enough. You're not gonna be compiling a lot, but for like yeah, for web development, for quick backend development that doesn't involve compilation, then it should be fine.
okay. If you
Although
use
I
Docker and
think,
all that,
well, you can use Docker, but probably you won't because
yeah,
needs a virtual machine in the Mac.
You
yeah,
can
But
see.
most likely, this would be for like office work. So Apple seems to be targeting like normal office work, because you get the Mac, uh, you browse the internet, you open Google Docs and or like
yeah,
iWork for example, and that's where you do things, and
yeah,
that's very very sufficient, more than sufficient than just a normal Windows computer, for example. And the problem is that many Windows computers at this price range are not they're not as classy. They are more powerful, but people at that particular like uh, wi- people that do data entry, for example, or do marketing or do social media posting, etc., they're not really looking for powerful. They'd like ones that they can they look good every day when they're using it. Like because every day they're looking at it, so they want to feel good while they're working with their tools.
Right. That is okay. Also, one interesting thing for me for the whole iPad thing is really that comes with a LiDAR for you to do 3D wrist gesture and all that.
Yeah, so you can do a real world copy and paste.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
up
yeah, I
to I
think it's
remember it's
interesting,
up to
but
5 meters.
yeah.
So
So
you
it's
can
like
do
yeah, it's like it's not yet. What's the thing? Microsoft Kinect.
yeah.
Oh, the
Or
Kinect is
it's
not being developed anymore, right? That was quite
no
cool.
the technology that open to use license technology to other use, but the Kinect itself is there. Very
Mm-hmm.
interesting piece of technology. It's infrared camera with some laser, lidar and all that. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
people some of the I believe people use that for gesture research as well. Very interesting technology, but unfortunately, it's there. Actually, people use it for robot navigation as well because they can do 3D sensing of environment, random mode. What else do we have? If not, we should just move on then.
What else?
If there's nothing, so if there's no news, I just want to say in this restriction movement orders, some of us is just like yet another day because we don't actually have office. Except for me, I do have an office.
Mm.
I
I
usually
have an
go to the office
office.
to work. But the thing is, other than for me, other than the fact that I don't go to office, I literally can work from home as I discovered. So, for example, I'm going to show off some of the workspace of the team. La, la, la. Okay, let me do this. I don't know how this works. Share screen. I'm going to share Tristan one as well. Share screen, whole screen, entire screen, allow. Then can you see it?
Yep. What is
Whoa!
this?
So this is my workspace.
Why don't
On
you
the
use the
Ah,
monitor?
you don't use the
that is my
monitor.
PC. This is my personal computer.
Ah.
So
Okay,
I have a personal computer. This is my work computer, which is why it's a Mac
okay.
because
I'm gonna explain
not my
mine
favorite.
afterwards.
Yeah, not my favorite OS, but it is what it is. I don't like the Mac that much,
But
believe it or
why
not.
did you ask for a Mac when you were given a your computer?
So put it this way, I just don't want to self-support my computer, so I won't ask for Linux. I'm a bit lazy for that. Even my
What?
personal machine, yes, it's fun,
You
but it's
know,
for
you
work.
could
So
have gotten a Lenovo P1 with a Quadro, like a
yeah,
proper computer.
so
I don't know.
I can work on Windows, but it's not. It's my number three. Lah. I can work in it, but it's not my favorite OS to
let's talk about
work
the
on Linux
let's
environment.
talk about the mannequin.
So introducing Manny the mannequin.
Yeah.
That's my friend. I heard this talk to me. Just kidding. I don't. I just got so bored. Then my switch. More importantly, you see the book here, Jin Yong.
Yeah.
I got anybody that watched Hong Kong TV series in the
No,
old
I read
days,
the original in Chinese.
yeah, for those that do not can't read Chinese, Mandarin, all that, and you want to have a feeling of the Condor Heroes, I recommend. This is the version that I would recommend you if you want to read you have the original feel. It's good enough. The thing is, a lot of things is still very hard to translate. For example, the kung fu style and all that. But they tried and it's not bad. It's not too bad. So I recommend you this series. I'll share the link later. But this is my workspace. Then you see the M5 stack up there. Yeah, it's a mess, but it's my table. Then we're going to show Tristan's table.
Mm-hmm.
Then I'm going to get Motion Man Chi Leong to show.
So why do you shoot mine first?
Oh, this yours, sir.
Yeah,
Ah,
Tristan. Yeah, Tristan is the fancy one with a
Tristan.
big TV.
Yeah, this
Whoa.
Yeah,
is no.
it's a battle station.
Yeah.
Explain to
Mm.
us what I'm seeing here.
Explain.
Oh well,
Explain.
that's the laptop on the left side, the actual
Yep.
machine there. So that's, I think that's a, I bought this 2016, I think, with a
Mm,
20 before. So that this is an Nvidia 1070. This was bought before the Bitcoin mining craze of
right.
of things. So I bought this like relatively cheaper. I think about 6,000 ringgit or something. So it can drive all of these monitors because it's an NVIDIA. And so yeah, the middle
Cool.
one is where I do the code most of the time,
Mm,
because it's like direct front and center. Left side would be Slack. The right side would be like things like this. In this case, this is Pivotal Tracker, or sometimes this particular monitor. It's a 43-inch monitor, 4K, doubles
mm,
as an entertainment TV, because on the left side is actually a couch.
right.
So if you want to, so I took away the chair, but there's
Mm-hmm.
actually a chair like in front. But if I would like to watch a movie, let's say, then I'm just going to take the chair out and then just
Mm-hmm.
watch from. So that, because this monitor is on an articulating hinge, so you can move it around.
Right.
So it's actually, it looks
Fancy.
like it's floating because it's actually
Mm-hmm.
like not like it's cantilevered, I would say. I don't know. So you have
Right.
a you have it's being held there with some
Right.
articulating arms, and below the
Okay.
monitor is like my hamster.
Okay. So
Yeah,
this is the hamster area.
yeah,
So
that
what's the
it's
scissors for?
the what, sorry?
Scissors.
Caesars, what's a Caesars?
Or the those that you hang on the rails on
Ah,
the
the
window rail.
scissors. Yeah, so there's scissors. I don't know. Sometimes I'd like some snacks, so it's easy to just like open snacks with
Cool.
things.
Right.
I mean, I don't really know what else to do with these steel grills, so I just put magnets and hang things on them.
Right.
There are
Well,
steel grills as well in the kitchen, so I just put like a lot of hooks, and I put
yeah.
all of my pots and pans there.
Okay. Cool. So anything you want to talk about your setup? If not, I'm going to move to
No,
Chileans.
that's it. Yeah.
Okay. So this is Chileans.
Yeah, which is what I'm
So
using right now.
yep. So this is essentially also the podcast rig,
Yeah.
fancy
So
keyboard.
yeah, I have two keyboards to switch over because if you see on the left side there's a MacBook.
Mm.
Oh,
So
okay.
the MacBook is actually the monitor on the left side is actually a USB-C monitor. So it has several USB ports. So I use that as a hub. This is as a hub for, and then when I connected the it's actually stay connected. I just switch over the source. Both of them are on at the same time. The white keyboard is for the work machine, and the black one is for the home machine. So the right side is actually a USB hub for the home machine, and the left side is also a hub for the work machine via USB-C. So yeah,
Right.
seamless switch over.
Nice. I don't know you can do that.
Yeah,
But do you have a desktop there below
yeah,
the?
down there, yeah, below the
Okay.
desk.
So you don't actually have a KB synergy running. You actually have a
The
used to
USB-C is pretty much like the KVM nowadays. It's very
right.
convenient. So I only need to plug in
Interesting.
one cable.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
it's like one of those. I forgot what they call it. The like the Lenovo ones, the docking mechanisms.
It's called a dock, I
So
believe. It's
I don't
it's
literally
even
called
called
a dock.
and the monitor will supply the power to the laptop as well. So I don't have to plug in the charger as well. Just
yeah.
plug into the monitor. You connect to the peripherals and also charge the laptop.
Right.
Yeah.
Cool.
A
That's a
messy cable setup, but it's as minimal as possible.
So
Mm.
also it's very zen, occupy the present.
There's a Google Home Hub
Then
behind the monitor, so that's
right.
my fancy clock that I don't use it.
Then there's this red thing here I did not know about, but it's fine.
Rating? Oh, the toy.
Yeah.
It's actually the MSI mascot. I
Okay.
use it as the key. I use it as if you notice actually the key ring for the UB key. So it's bloody big enough
Okay.
that I won't lose it. Like it's actually connected to the UB key.
Nice.
Yeah.
So then it's very zen here, occupy the present,
No,
right?
it is very messy.
Okay. So let's say I'm going to cancel the screen sharing. What you guys use for so anything's different from working from home versus working from office. So anything that you feel a bit different.
I think you should start first.
So I okay. So this is not my first time to work from home. Sometimes I do that in my previous job. It's just that I prefer office because there's a boundary. There's a physical boundary. Uh,
Yeah.
the boundary is once outside office, I don't really care about anything else. Office door. So now I literally work, sleep, and play in the same place. Uh,
That's the thing that I
it's
don't
not really
like.
healthy. Yeah. So now my personal space is now also a workplace, uh, which is. But then the boundary is set on. But I have to set the boundary on work day as well. So in this way, it's like 9 to 6 or 8 to 6. This is my work time. I cannot do anything else. I can't play game. I will not turn on the big PC behind me. That's my gaming rig. I
Oh,
will
I
take
do play
away.
games. I do play games during lunchtime. That's a
I
perk.
set my no. I can, but I decide that there's a boundary. But I do play my Switch occasionally. But I bring my Switch to office for R&R. So I do not play like Civilization, Surviving Master heavy games, or Netflix. Yeah, Netflix can play everywhere, but it's just that I don't play. I don't play Netflix on the office computer. It's just
Can
that.
can you play
Uh,
Netflix on the Switch?
no, no, on my PC.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. See, there's a boundary. You see, so I had a very clear boundary.
Hmm.
Unless there's emergency, even though I bring my laptop home, I do not actually use it unless there is something a bit bad that I have to do something, which didn't happen yet.
Hmm.
Thank goodness, but it is what it is. So that's me then. So also previously I worked in the living room, so which is a bit better than now because at least it won't intrude into my sleep place.
Hmm.
So so that's my little setup. Uh, there's more, but let's talk about your feeling. How do you feel about working from home exclusively for 2 weeks?
No, I think it's just started, right? So there's nothing
Yeah.
really much to like there the novelty there is that everyone else is complaining about the work from home arrangement. So
Huh?
companies that are not prepared for those, like for example, like they don't have VPNs or they don't have
Mm-hmm.
the necessary workflows with their teams to meet, for example, at this particular uh, what they call this particular meeting software, or
Mm-hmm.
does don't have the discipline to like do the meeting online, then it's just interesting to see it. But I think, well, if we can talk about it next week, we can do a retrospective over how things have changed.
Yeah.
Because now
Uh,
a week of working from home is, I think, interesting.
yeah.
I don't know about me though, because my company just does work remote for, like, it's one of their key how would you say, key strengths is
Okay.
the work from home sorry, not work from home, but work remotely,
Yeah.
like thrust, or I don't know how to explain it. Yeah, but
But it's
the
actually
whole
one of the, it's a remote first company.
yeah, mm-hmm,
Or it's
yeah.
it's not necessarily remote first, but it's remote compatible.
Well,
So you can,
we are actually remote first, so
okay, yeah,
we try to make sure that all of our workflows are remote friendly. So because it's almost as if the company has been preparing for this exact situation, that uh, where everyone, like the office is not required, or like office optional basically.
right.
So yeah,
Interesting.
so let's see next week what happens.
Yeah. So how about you, Chilean?
The good thing is I get less distractions, so I
Right.
get to work better, finish the stuff faster. The
Yeah.
bad thing is I bloody hate the boundary issue. Like I feel
Yes.
like even if I finish things quick, I feel like I have to pick up the next task immediately. It's
Uh-huh.
like also like
Yeah.
because there's a like sort of like contest on the Git repo, like try to like push as much as I
Right.
seems like no, it's a personality issue, but I feel like the I need to get back used to it. But the good thing is that there is very little distraction. Nobody
Mm.
is gonna bump me to ask me questions and stuff. Even though I part of the job is to support some of the people,
Yeah, but
but
it's a bit
I'm
different.
glad that I can work in quietly.
Yeah. So one interesting thing here is to also is that the boundary shift in a way that we not just that now my room had a very bad, but the work boundary is a bit more enforced now because you do not know whether the other person is on the office or not, or
Mm-hmm.
is it do whatever because you don't have visibility. So that's an interesting one. Even though we had a culture, we already had remote for a while,
Yeah,
so we are
I
not a
spent
remote
half of
first
my
company.
career remoting.
Yeah. So this company was in a relatively traditional sector. It's a support the financial industry, but we are very ahead when it comes to by comparison in the financial industry, in a way that we we can everybody can literally go take up VPN and connect immediately and it would work. The developers share all the routes. You need to set up to be the VPN because the IT support do not necessarily have the same visibility. So
Mm-hmm.
that is ready. Our stuff is done on the cloud. We deploy on the cloud or the
Yeah.
service that is accessible through network. Uh,
The
if it's
software is not
internal,
built
then
here; it's built externally as well.
yeah, correct. So GitHub is our tools of choice. We literally have no problem working offline for developers. The business side may be a problem simply because the sector is a bit traditional, meaning there's meeting. But
Well, I wouldn't say
nowadays,
the meeting is a problem. I think the problem is measuring performance. Because if your measure of like if you are actually working, if the measure of that is being in the office, then you have a problem when you go not in the office, right? If you don't have
our
if you
KPI
have
is different.
yeah, so that's the thing, right? If the KPI is not
Yeah.
easily measurable, then you have a problem. Then you do meetings, and just because you need to be present for some
Uh,
reason, right?
it's a
Oh,
team culture thing
Yeah.
because
it's
for us that yes,
it's a little bit different on our side because all our requirements, all our projects, all the timelines are actually fixed. So we need to develop, we need to come up with them
Yeah.
before the day.
So
yeah,
so these things, like if they're fixed, if you have really clear KPIs or goals or metrics,
yeah,
then it's easy to work remote because you don't care
yes,
where the
precisely,
person is as long
yes,
as the thing gets done,
The,
right? But if you're
the
like if the way that people see that you're working is that, oh, you're in the office, you're typing at stuff, and there's no clear measure of how you actually got things done, or like whether like, and the only thing is that you're in the office or you're being heard, then that is a problem because you
Yeah.
get to call for more meetings just so that you, oh, I'm doing something or something like that. It's very difficult
Uh,
to measure.
yeah, but I think what the culture here that is good is that uh, we are doing things, not for sure doing things. We had a goal. We had a spring goal. We had priorities a spring goal. We know that we need to prioritize those priorities. We are at level priorities. The goal here is get those done. How you
Yeah,
do it, that's the
that's
point, right?
that's that's
That's
yeah,
it.
that makes it easy to work
Yes,
remotely, work from home or something, because I can
correct.
spend 10 hours per day from Monday to Thursday and take Friday off, let's say,
Yes,
and as long as I still get things done, you don't care about my Friday off.
correct.
I this
Uh,
is what I promised I will do, and I did it.
yeah, correct. It's still hard for me to take leave in a way that I still need to apply for it. But uh, I think for me, the work from home also is good in a way that we have a mission to do it, we get a few things done. Then
I think one
yeah,
very good, one thing that I think swimming might agree is that we don't have to waste so much time traveling to work.
no,
Hmm.
How much
definitely.
time do you have to spend traveling back and are we commuting back and forth every day?
Yeah.
On the other hand, if I go extremely early, then go extremely early. I go at 6. It's still a 30-minute trip actually.
What? Really?
Uh,
That fast?
because it's 6, I will leave at 6 a.m. or so.
Okay.
Mm. Mine is
6:30 a.m.
I used to do 45-minute travel time because
Yeah.
I would walk to the train and then take the train and then walk from the train to the office.
No,
I
no, no.
got
I hit you right.
uh, no, no, for me that was
Yeah, yeah,
45 minutes going and then
yes,
45 minutes back. But I
yeah,
got parking now, so they bought me like reserved parking, so now it's just 15 minutes, but the problem is it takes 30 minutes to find actual parking, and so it
yeah,
doesn't really
Mm.
like the
And
look,
you
and sometimes it takes like an hour or so to
yeah,
find a parking spot.
and you have
So
to be in and out at the right time because I know Bangsar South is
yeah.
the traffic is horrible
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
depending on which route you use.
Correct.
Mine is
So,
equal, but I think I'm at the more extravagant, if I can say, is the worst. The max for me is 4 hours a day. So it's a normally a 40-minute drive if the traffic is clear like right now. But no, most of the time the average is 1.5 to 2 hours. So
yes,
either I have to go out really early or I have to go out really late.
yes. If I leave by 7, then it'll be a 1.5 hour trip. So,
Hmm.
yeah, we definitely save a lot of time by working from home. So, yeah, I think it's a good thing. But everything is a net win for me lah. Even though I don't have people to bug for technical issue, but I think it's a good thing. So, how about you? Anything extra you want to add on the work from
Yeah.
home thing? Anyone
Oh, there's
Tristan?
something that I
Mm-hmm.
really like so far. I hope
Yeah.
it doesn't change. Is that sometimes like at work I get to receive those silly requests to add in certain features that this and that. So I didn't get that. So because of sometimes like when certain requests came in, some part of the people don't want the others to know about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's
So
easier now because in order for them
yeah,
to request it, they have to document it, right?
yeah, yeah,
So now they don't want to document. They can't just tap your back and say, "Hey, let's add this" or something.
yeah.
Yes.
That's a really good part. I mean, I
Yeah.
hope that it's stay that way because this is just the
Yes.
second day.
Yeah. So how about you, Tristan? Anything to add on your?
No, nothing to add.
Yeah, because I think one privilege for us IT people, especially for us working in a startup like environment, it's easy for us to work from home. The
Mm-hmm.
only negative is that we don't have other people to annoy physically. That's all. So
It's
yeah, I
also like
think
personality issue. Like mine, I feel like it's more about on my side. It's like it feels like more intense
Yeah.
because like I'm trying to like there's a sort of like gamification. Like I have to compete. Unlike in the office, like today I just finished whatever that I have.
Okay, that's cool. So that's some different.
Yeah.
So, what do you use for online meeting and all that? Online
No,
cooperation
no
with your
meeting
team?
yet.
We use GoToMeeting, but we
Right.
might be using Zoom. Well,
Okay.
it's GoToMeeting is great for like recording and then sharing the sessions because you
Yep.
don't have to record your screen, right? GoToMeeting records it
Right.
for you.
Right.
You don't have to mess with like Soundflower or whatever, all of these loopback audio devices, so that you can
Right.
hear everyone else. But we might be doing Zoom as well because GoToMeeting is like recently has been very slow, probably because a
Right.
lot more usage, and they haven't really prepared for the bandwidth usage for like everyone going remote.
Right.
But Zoom's apparently is prepared, so we'll see. We'll try it out tomorrow.
Okay. We use Google Meet. We don't really care about the recording part. We have the capability, I believe. We just don't
Hmm.
care as much because the stand-up meeting is really two thing. They really help. If so, talk later. It really goes back to that. Status ready for next task. Not as formal. It's a bit more informal, but it generally goes back to that. And who else need help, etc. You know what I mean? So we don't have that, so we just stick with Google Meet, and it works very well. The only thing
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
is, the
Meet
weird
is
annoying thing about, yeah.
you feeling first.
So the only annoying thing is because we tend to turn off our video because of bandwidth and all that. We do not know when is our turn to speak. It's actually very annoying.
Yeah. The
Yeah.
issue I have with Meet is that it's a worse version of Google Hangouts.
Mm.
Somehow my according to my experience, it's it's work like Google Hangout, but it's actually the worst version. Like
Mm.
I'm not sure if the compression or the delivery or something is much worse, like in
Right,
terms of call quality.
right.
Mm.
So then we all of us use GitHub, right? Then yeah, there's not much. We use Google document. We use Google's online document, if any at all. Yeah, I think we are
Yeah.
pretty prepared for the
How
future.
about the ones watching right now? So there's Chris and there's Nicholas. Maybe you can put on the chat as well, like
Yep,
what you use for
yep. What do you
meetings,
use?
or if anyone else, because
Yeah.
these are the only people I see chatting, so
Yes.
they're the only ones that I see the names of.
In
But
fact, there's only
anyone
two
else?
viewers. There's only two viewers
Mm.
currently.
Yeah. Some
Well, right now on the live, but it usually like
apparently
increases
I
later.
received a comment from John that
Okay.
Who's John?
the one that we interviewed.
Oh,
John.
okay.
Okay.
John, Google YouTube requires you to log in to comment. So I think it's only
Oh,
showing
I
the
see.
number that for people that are logged in.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Nicholas using Google Meets.
Mm.
Yeah, if you use Google, you tend to get it. Lah.
Mm.
So that's one thing. So yeah, I mean, the hip guys will use Zoom, but that's it.
Zoom is like the perceive. I haven't used it. And John say, yeah, sucks. uh,
So,
yeah, Microsoft Team. Well, there's a lot.
oh,
Chris.
I know the Microsoft guys use Team. Their problem recently.
Yeah, they
Someone
went down
Mm.
for a short while
yes,
early this week.
Yeah. And apparently, a number of educators are using Line or WhatsApp
yeah.
for sending out homework and explaining homework.
Mm.
So
Zoom.
you
I know some
use whatever you
schools that
can.
use Zoom.
Mm.
We also use Slack, but I think most of us use Slack here anyway.
Oh, there's
So
Discord. So what's good about Discord is you have your voice channels, and you.
okay.
So I think someone in the company just set up a water cooler on Discord. So you just like keep it on,
So
and
if
then
you
just
miss,
people are just
yeah.
talking.
So if you miss the distraction,
Yeah, if you miss the distraction of the office, go to the go to Discord and just hear random
yeah.
people, well, not random, but your colleagues talking about random stuff.
Yeah. So yeah, I think that's about it. Then I think all of us. I think it's more interesting to hear from anyone that work in a more traditional setting that don't allow working from home
I
and
think
suddenly they
it's
have to.
WhatsApp. I think they'll do WhatsApp. Everyone just puts because it's the most accessible one, right? So people will just
Yeah, but we don't use it
record
for work. We use it for
videos.
we
Yeah.
use it for our water cooler,
Mm.
and we have a yeah. Never mind. Let's not go there. So that's it. So we done with work. But how about so nowadays one of our learning opportunities learning approach is actually through community. How do you handle that nowadays?
No, well, I've always had my ACM subscription, so
Huh?
it's a 40 US dollar subscription to acm.org, and it contains a free access to Safari Books Online, which is now O'Reilly Books or Online. There's a lot of content on Safari Books. I
Yep.
think usually it's like 129 US per month or something. I don't know. It's very
Yep.
expensive, but if you have an
Yes.
ACM membership, it's quite very cheap,
What
and you
is
And
an
have
also
SDM
all of these
membership?
things. Go to acm.org, and if you're from Malaysia or any of like ASEAN countries, you get
yeah.
a discounted membership fee of,
Yes.
so it's
So
discounted to 40 US dollars for a year.
ACM is the oldest computer organization. It used to be full of academics. Then it turned into more industry. So they are the one behind the Turing Award and all that. They're not standard body. They're more of a representation to build. They're literally the IEEE uh, of software. It's like IEEE with more
Do you have a local
computing
chapter
focus.
for like meetings and something? Well, I'm not sure.
I
No,
Like
don't know if
standard
they have
committee,
one in
we have
KL.
yeah. Like I
there
know like
is
for standard committees, there's a regular meeting to go for like directions and stuff.
Hmm.
I'm sure there is representation because some of the, especially those that actually went overseas to study, do have access to ACM and all that. As a committee, not really committee, as a meeting member, uh, I'm sure that there's people that already subscribe to the subscription for learning and all that. So I know Simnet was one. So because he used to be academics now, so it's something we should get. For me, so the bad thing about recent one is that there's a lot of discount.
Mm-hmm.
So I bought I bought another book, two set of books. There's this. I remember that there's this book, Deep Learning. What's the name of the? Let me find it. I recommend this deep learning book.
What is this book?
Long some time back from Manning called uh, Deep Learning with Python.
Mm-hmm.
So Deep Learning with Python just have the second edition, but it's under Meet. So it's under early. It's there's a second edition, still in development, new content and all that. I bought the ebook version because I don't see the point of having another physical copy. This one is new in a way that previous one that only cover the basic thing in a way that image recognition, sound recognition, all that. This one they also add things for timeline. So this for patterns and all that. So I get it for 199. Then another one I get for is Manning.
Mm-hmm.
Another book I get that's not mid days out very recent. It's called. I'm so sorry for not prepared properly. Uh, It's deep learning for natural language processing in action. Let me see if I can share. Ta-da-da. So let me share my screen shortly. Share screen. La, la, la. Entire screen allow. So you see here, deep learning for Python had a new release.
Mm-hmm.
Previously, they only have fundamentals and computer vision. I don't think I have text, but there's some extra thing. But now they have uh, advanced computer vision, time series, text. I think previously they have text, but it's not that great. And yeah, I think that's about it. They have some a lot of new content actually. A lot of it is hidden in between, but there's the time series and text is the two new one lah. Then another book that I actually get is actually Natural Language in Action. I didn't finish reading it yet, but the content is attractive to me. Basic text representation for neural network is these three things that is interesting to me. The first set that I check is how do you represent text. Then I'm interested in the last three one, just because. And also finally, I think this is the last day for Udemy to have sale. If you bought
They're always having a
yeah,
sale.
so the cost is not too bad. For example, I actually got my cert for React course.
Nice.
Yeah. So I share it later again. I share it before in other channel.
So you can do React with Redux.
Yeah. So here's what I suggest: if you got bored because you don't have shopping and you don't want to stick to watching Netflix, the Udemy course, some of it's not too bad on a reasonable price. You can also take it as well.
Mhm.
So that's the thing that I do.
Which university published textbooks for free? Was it Cambridge?
Cambridge
yeah.
Core.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let
Yeah.
me share it in the chat.
So these are actual textbooks that like for colleges and universities. So
Yeah.
if you've
Correct.
always wanted like to brush up on your chemistry, let's say, or your biology, and understand a bit more the technical details of viruses and all of these things, then this might be a good resource for you.
Yep.
Until the end of May. So
Yeah. Oh, you can download the book, right? Because this is HTML.
no, I have no idea. I'm still reading it.
I think you can. I
Yeah.
mean, it shouldn't be like what they do in O'Reilly. I don't think they have a book viewer. Well, let's
Yeah.
take a look. When models meet data is the first one.
Oh, interesting. That one
Uh,
I'm interested.
says get
Oh, yeah.
access. How do you get access?
According to like project, you have to scrape it.
You have to scrape it.
Yeah. So you archive it.
So we have had to remove the free access to textbooks and are working to address these concerns to reinstate free access as soon as possible.
Oh yeah, because of
Unfortunately, a lot of people seem to have jumped into it.
if
Yeah.
you know where to look, people archive all the books and as a torrent.
Hmm.
Yeah.
All the books from
All the book.
Cambridge?
Yeah.
Oh.
Uh, it's not hard to find. It's one of the
Yeah.
discussion boards.
I mean, did
Yes.
they already take it like these free things?
Yeah.
So they already took it as soon as they
Yeah, they
announced
took it. Yeah. Yep.
Wow. How large is the collection?
I have no idea. It's a torrent.
Yeah, but how large is the whole thing?
I didn't check because I had to validate the links first.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm a bit paranoid in this case.
So what else? Learning books. O'Reilly.
Oh, 400.
CM.
Around 500 meg after 7-zip.
Oh,
Mm.
not bad. Not bad. Uh,
Wow.
it's not something we want to put in public, but personally, you know where to put it.
Yeah. PM Chilong
Yeah.
for stuff.
Yes. So learning resource. So if you see on Netflix and all that, uh, learning resource is available and not necessarily free, but at least it's cheap.
Yeah.
So
So I'm not sure if a lot of teachers are actually creating content now on YouTube, like because might as well publish their lessons, right? If they're teaching some students,
uh,
maybe you'll
uh,
find a few channels.
a few teachers do that. It's a private personal initiatives. Just because they think it's a good idea, but I do not have personally know the resource. I just know that it exists
A
Mm.
bummer
because it's
for
covered in the
a bummer
news.
for some teachers is that from what I heard, I know several lecturers. They try to create this content but get taken down because it sort of violates things like if your biology or chemistry is very easy to violate some of the platform rules.
Yeah.
So
So
that's one of the things that YouTube or other platform has to like pick up their pace on, like
yeah,
to distinguish between teaching and a real violation.
yeah. So then this from Nicholas. Just
Yeah.
choose a hobby.
What sort of hobby do you?
I,
Okay.
Mm.
I have no
Yeah.
life.
One thing that Fidaus mentioned, the one of the link that he
Mhm.
shared in Engineers Mind, like some of some of the food you can cook at home, is that if you have issue of finding buying stuff, it's actually if you make noodles, it's very easy to make, and you from a little bit of flour you can make a lot of noodles. So
Mm.
that's
So
my
now,
tips.
so now flour is the thing to buy, not toilet paper.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can make your own paper if you
So
want to.
yeah.
That can be your
Can
new
make
Hobbies
your
hobby.
are
own
bad.
flour.
Yeah.
Yes. So I think it's a good thing because when I was young, I thought the currency of the apocalypse is bottle caps. No, turns out that is. I was worried
So
that
that,
it's toilet paper,
but
but turns out
yeah,
it's not even that.
Mm.
It's
Think there will be a
very good.
game like a parody game where currency is toilet paper.
Oh,
for a
that's a
mod,
good idea.
for a mod.
Yeah, Fallout support mods. The newer
Yeah.
Fallout can support
Yeah.
mods that replace bottle caps with toilet paper. I would love to see that. That'd be
Yeah.
interesting.
However, serious note aside, stay safe. Don't die.
Yes. Stay
Yes.
safe. Do not go out unless you really need to go out.
Yeah.
Uh,
We actually lost someone if a community and very active community member Python during the early days of Python during
yeah.
the swine flu outbreak. So, yep,
Yes.
Mm.
stay
Well,
safe. Don't
Then,
die.
did so
then,
they
yes.
got infected by swine flu.
Yep.
Mm. Wow.
Also, losing a community member is not fun because we used to have a core Python developer in Malaysia. He was from Australia, then he was leading a team in Malaysia. We had him for a talk, then not soon after he passed away, so it's not
Mm.
fun.
Really, your boss?
No, no, not my boss. Trinity. He's in one of the last Python meetups
Oh, okay.
2 years back. So uh, it's a big deal. So yeah,
Yeah.
so that happened. So take care. Don't go out. Wash your hand. Uh, the reason why it works better than your uh, what's the alcohol thing
Sanitizer?
sanitizer is
Mm.
because your soap works better at
Yeah.
so your virus actually surrounded by protein and fat, and your soap actually
Yeah.
dissolve fat as a result that
Yeah.
kill virus
They call it
quicker.
lipids, the lipid layer.
Yes.
Yeah.
So wash your hand. Use any soap. I don't
Yeah.
care.
There is
Just
some
wash.
misunderstanding around that, saying that those things is actually better than washing hands. Just wash your hands with soap.
Yes, it's cheap,
Stay safe.
works. Yeah, stay safe, and don't start a meetup. I will kill you. And that's it. I
You
think
can do
anything
an
else?
online meetup, right? Online
You can
meetup is
do it.
fine.
Yeah.
Oh wait,
Yes.
I wanted to ask, like, is Pasamalam open on the weekend?
No,
No.
it's
Because
prohibited.
It's not. It's not
ah
supposed to open anymore.
Even all the
yeah,
stores are all
because
the
I
roadside
thought
stores have
that was
closed.
from the announcement yesterday, right? Because
Yeah.
I think during the first announcement, those like the night shops are still going to be
Yeah.
opening,
There's still a lot of
and
confusion.
yeah,
Yeah. That's another shit show, but that's another story I won't even cover there.
we'll see next week what happens. Then we'll talk
Yes.
about it.
I try to we try our best to get Taven to join. Try our best.
Hmm.
That guy is hard to
In Taiwan,
get
right?
hold of. I hope so.
Is
I
he
hope
stuck in Taiwan or
I have no
he's
idea.
just
He
we should.
was in Taiwan like
escaping?
last week.
Uh-huh.
Malaysians should all come back already. So either way, stay safe. So shall we say goodbye?
Yeah.
So goodbye.
Like,
Bye.
Also, share us a photo of your setup in your comment. We'll watch it and we'll share it to the
Yeah.
world.
Yeah.
So, oh, goodbye, and we're going off now.
Bye.
like
Bye.